Hello, baby.
Welcome back, everybody, to Joni's 50s Diner. We're here today to do another Pinterest recipe, and today we're going to try Crockpot spaghetti. This is going to be really simple because I had surgery this week, and I looked for something that would be easy for me to put together and give it a try. So, Crockpot spaghetti. We're going to use ground turkey, some onion, some peppers, spaghetti, pretty simple, spaghetti and spaghetti sauce, a little bit of water, some Italian seasoning, and throw it all in a crock pot. And it's supposed to cook in 2 hours, so let's give it a shot. See what happens. I'll also link the Pinterest recipe on the bottom of this YouTube video. So one of the tips that was in the recipe was to buy, you only use 1 pound of ground turkey. So one of the tips that I thought was rather useful was to buy the big pack of ground turkey. So this is a 3-pound pack, and basically she fries it up and divides it out into 3 1-pound packages, and then freezes the 2 that she has left over, and then she has it all ready for the next time she wants to make her crock pot spaghetti. That step is already done, so that makes it even faster. So what we're going to do is we're going to chop up this onion and get the pan going over here. A little bit of olive oil, pan. And I apologize if I'm skipping around here a little bit, but we'll get through. Everybody, we still got to eat, right? Everybody still has to eat. So, chop up, give it a rough chop, the onion. And this is a pretty big white onion. So, I'm just going to put about half of it in. Also chop up the peppers here. Just take out a handful. These are peppers that I had already chopped, sliced up. So, and this was not included in the recipe. I personally like peppers and onions in my spaghetti. I think it adds more flavor. So we're just going to add this in. I'm sure it's not going to mess up the original recipe, but I think maybe just a little bit more. Another handful. Try to get them about the same size. You want, when you're chopping up items to put in your recipe, you want to chop them all as consistently the same size as you can so that they cook evenly. So I think that looks pretty good. So we'll put this aside and we'll throw this in the hot pan with the oil. I'm going to cook these down for a little bit. An onion or so that looks a little bigger than you want, you can cut it down a little bit with your spatula. And at this point, I would add a little bit of the Italian seasoning that the recipe calls for. And just sprinkle that in. think this is kind of to taste too, also what you really like. If you like a lot of the Italian flavor, put a little extra in. If you don't, put a little bit in. And we'll cook these down a little bit until they start to get a little translucent on high heat. I have it on. And then we'll add the ground turkey. So we're also going to just do the whole 3 pounds. So put the whole thing in here. This way it'll all be ready for the next time we want to make the crock-pot spaghetti. We'll have everything in it. Have the onions, the peppers, and we'll cook this down. This shouldn't take very long, 10 minutes I would say. So we'll come back after this cooks down. We've browned our ground turkey. And ground turkey tends to not get so brown as beef does. So this is done. There's no pink, so this is good. So we're going to take it to the sink in a colander inside of a bowl, and we're going to drain this. One nice thing with turkey meat is it's not as fatty as beef. So we'll just do the whole thing here since we cooked up the whole 3 pounds. And then we will just use 1/3 of it in the recipe. Okay, get all that good peppers and onions in there. Make sure we get all that good. Now in the recipe calls for some mushrooms, and we are not a mushroom loving family. Well, my husband loves mushrooms, but the rest of us, not mushroom people. Okay, so we have this drained, so I'm just going to put it back into the pan, and then we'll go back over to here, and we're going to put this together. So we have the beef. I'm just going to crumble it a little better here so we don't get big chunks. And get a spoon. Okay. So the recipe says you need 2 cups of hot water. You need 2 tablespoons of olive oil, which basically you're using it to grease the inside of your crock pot. So I don't think you have to be that exact with that. Just so the inside of your crock pot is nice and greased, so nothing sticks. Okay. So that's pretty well greased. And we are going to add 1/3 of this to the pot. Okay, that's a pretty good eyeball. Maybe one more. Okay, put that aside. And it says 2 cups of hot water, because you don't want to put cold water into your crock pot because that just makes it have to work a little harder. And 1 jar of sauce. And remember, I said we're a family who likes our spaghetti kind of saucy. So we're going to just add a little bit more. Now, a lot of people have their spaghetti where they have the pasta by itself and then make their pasta sauce or ragu, and then pour it over top of their pasta. This is going to all be in one big pot, so everything's all going to be together. So how does everybody else like to have their pasta? I personally like everything all together. So I think this is going to be a really good recipe that our family's going to like. So, and then I'm going to turn it on, and it says to leave it on high for 1 hour. So I don't have an hour. It starts at 2. So we're going to put it at 2 hours. We're going to leave it on high for 1 hour, and then come back and we add the pasta to the bowl at the 1 hour point. So we will see you in an hour. Guys, so we're back, and the 1 hour, the timer went off. You can see what it looks like in there. It's good and hot. Stir it around a little bit. And basically, just said to take your box of spaghetti, open it up. Break it in half. Put it inside. Make sure that the spaghetti is covered with the sauce. And I just use regular spaghetti, not the thin spaghetti, just regular. Okay. And it said if it looks like it might need a little bit more juice, to add a little bit more water. So I think we're going to do that. And it's going to be hot water. Because remember, we don't want to add cold to an already hot crock pot, because it could actually break your crock pot. Hot water. Cup here. Add a little more. That looks pretty good. And then put the lid back on, and another hour. And it said you can come back and stir it around a few times during the hour. You can see I bagged up the other 2 pounds of turkey in some freezer bags, and I'm going to put them in the freezer. And hopefully next time we come back, it'll be looking good and ready to taste. Okay. We're back. The hour is over. Take a look in here. And look at this spaghetti. Look how good this looks. Oh my goodness. The smell is wonderful. The noodles are cooked perfectly. Everything's mixed in. Everything's in there. Put a little bit on the plate here. Whenever I make spaghetti, it reminds me of when my husband and I were first married. We were only 18, not a lot of money, and spaghetti was a very inexpensive meal. A little bit of cheese on here too. So needless to say, we had a lot of spaghetti. And one evening, when I put the spaghetti on the dinner table, my husband said, "I'm not eating that." And we had had a little bit of a fight before dinner, just money, and you know, when you're first married. And I told him, you're going to eat that spaghetti. And he said, "No, I refuse. I'm not eating spaghetti again." And I said, "Well, if you don't eat the spaghetti, you're going to wear the spaghetti." So I sat and kept eating, and he kept refusing to eat. So I got up, and I took the plate, and I turned it over onto his head. Well, needless to say, at first I thought I was going to get in a lot of trouble, and it turned out to be a pretty hilarious event that we still talk about. We've been married 31 years. It turned into a big food fight where we basically blew off a lot of steam and ended up laughing and still talk about it today. So hopefully he comes home tonight and is going to try this, and hopefully we won't have a food fight. So let's give a try to this. Delicious. Delicious. Tastes just like spaghetti that I made in the pot. Okay. Alright, well, I think this one's a success. I asked you guys to give me some suggestions from my Pinterest site, Joni's 50s Diner. Follow me on there, and I suggest you subscribe to this channel, and we'll keep making you recipes. Alright, have a good week.